Hello, everyone. Welcome to the hypergamous journey. My name is Denise. At this channel, we discuss dating advice for women who are mature in age and or mindset. As Aaliyah, the singer, R&B singer, may she rest in peace, said, "Age ain't nothing but a number." So I wanted to give you an update on my date with Match 10 with It's Just Lunch. And this is story time. So I gave you a quick video of where we went to for lunch, STK. I think it's a steakhouse, or it's STK in Midtown in Atlanta. And I found out where the parking garage is, and they do validate for 2 hours, which most of the restaurants down there, if not all of them, validate in Midtown because they know, parking is horrific, but not as bad as New York City. So anyway, so we met at STK. But the story that's really funny is that I found my parking, and this gentleman, I told you he's a white guy, right? 60 something years old. So this gentleman, I was walking from my car to the door that leads to the elevators to go to the restaurant. And this white guy asked me about where he parked and would it be okay? Like, I work there. So, I graciously answered this question. I don't know. He said, well, I'm going to STK. And I said, well, so am I. You can follow me. Because I've been there like twice before. I think this would be my third time there. So I said, follow me. So we got in the elevator together. We got to the main floor to the street level where the restaurant is located, the entrance. And he stopped and started talking to these Spanish-speaking women. And they looked like they were, worked in the building, doing whatever they do. So he started to talk about where he parked his car and if they could help him. So I left him and went on into the restaurant, which was really a couple of feet away from the parking deck. And when I got there, my date wasn't there. So I went to the restroom to freshen up and, get myself situated at our table. So when I came back from the restroom, I was shown to our table where I put my coat and scarf. And when I came back to the table, I saw 2 yellow roses laying on the table. And I thought, oh, that's nice. And they didn't look like they were part of a bouquet or anything, like he picked out 2 roses. I skipped the whole part. So I left him there. And so let me backtrack. When this man asked me to where was STK, and I said, I'm going there, and I walked toward the glass doors that would lead us to the elevators. When I first saw him, he looked very confused. He walked with a limp. I thought this man was delivering the flowers to somebody in the office part of the parking deck, because the parking deck is associated with an office, a high-rise office, 20 stories high or so. And so I thought this man was delivering the flowers to a woman, located in one of the office suites in this particular building, which has the parking deck. He was limping. He looked disheveled. He looked frustrated because he didn't know where to park. He was asking me about the parking, and he wanted to go to STK. So now I'm thinking that he's delivering the flowers to a young lady who works at the restaurant. So when we both got into and I said, follow me, I'm going to STK too. So when we got into the restaurant, to the ground floor of the parking deck and / office building, he stopped to talk to these Spanish-speaking women, one of which said, oh, you bought the flowers for me? Which was an invitation for him to stop and ask his questions about where he parked and blah, blah, blah. So I noticed how she initiated conversation with him, very masculine. So I walked on to the restaurant, was shown our table, and I put my coat on the back of the chair with my scarf. I went to the ladies' room to freshen up. That's what I do, make sure I don't have lipstick on my teeth or anything like that. And when I came back to the table, I saw that these flowers, yet 2 yellow roses, were laying on the table, but my date was nowhere to be found. So I sat down and patiently waited for him. And when he got to the table, I looked up and saw that he was the same man who asked me for directions to STK, who I thought was the delivery person for the flowers. So by me thinking that he was a delivery person and like part-time delivery person, because this is a man who's in his 60s who looks like he's in his 60s and not in the best health. So his clothes were loose fitting and you get the picture. I thought he was a delivery guy, part-time delivery guy. So when I saw him, I gave him a hug. I was like, I saw you in the elevator. At the parking deck. And he laughed and we laughed and we just like, who would have thought that we would run into each other? And I was so happy that I did not ask him if he was delivering the flowers to someone. And it might not have offended him. It might not have offended him, but then it might have offended him. So I'm glad I didn't say anything. So come to find out, he was my date. And we talked and he did most of the talking, like 90% of it. I asked questions, but I didn't do much talking. He was really nice, sweet, funny, engaging, knew a lot about Georgia history. He grew up in Georgia, in the Atlanta area. So it was nice to see the areas of Atlanta where he grew up, went to school, that are now predominantly Black. And now he lives like about 2 hours away. So the kicker was that he smelled like a tobacco factory or like, someplace like tobacco had been rubbed all over his body, was in his skin, and he had a pack of cigarettes that I had never seen before, the brands on the table. And so I could smell the cigarette smoke or the cigarette. It's just really hard to describe the cigarette smell because it wasn't like, some nightclubs and bars, they allow smoking and then you get some smoke in your clothes and your hair. And then, you wash your clothes and you take a shower, wash your hair, and then the smoke is gone. It's like that cigarette smoke that's like in your pores. I'm sure you get it. I'm sure you get it. So anyway, he was a sweet person, funny, engaging, knew a lot about Atlanta history, complimented me numerous times, and he didn't ask for my number. And a good thing he did not, because we're not compatible. I am definitely not dating a cigarette smoker. And he revealed things about himself financially that let me know another man who is low earning. He works at, I'm pretty sure he said Walmart. So he works at Walmart. No, he didn't. He doesn't work at Walmart. He works at some kind of recycling place. He works at some kind of recycling place where people bring their household trash and recycle it and all of that. And I think he even said he lives on the property in a little house or something. Definitely not the kind of man I'm looking for. But like I said before, I always use these dates, regardless of whether they're from It's Just Lunch or someone I meet, to practice. And as I said in one of my last videos, I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not a young woman. I'm a mature woman. I think I'm attractive. and feminine. So he paid for the date. So I always take this opportunity to practice with men. And some people would say, well, you know, you're wasting your time because he doesn't have the criteria that you're looking for. To each his own. That's what I say. The point of saying I wasn't a young woman. I'm not a young woman. I am a mature woman. So the quantity of men that roll through asking me on dates are not the same as a woman in her 30s, 40s, and maybe even 50s. I don't know, depending on how she looks. So, you know, it's definitely not the kind of quantity that a 20-year-old would get. So the men who are age appropriate for me are married or in relationships already. So like I said, I take every opportunity to practice, and that is my review of match 10 with It's Just Lunch, my It's Just Lunch date. And he didn't ask for my number. He paid for my my lunch. And yeah, I enjoyed being going on a date with him. But yeah, so I have 2 more dates for It's Just Lunch, or 2 more matches that It's Just Lunch owes me. And then my contract will be up and over, and they will have fulfilled their 12 dates that they said they would give me after, I don't know, maybe 3 years of being under contract with them. I do not recommend It's Just Lunch. They just basically provide blind dates for the women who pay. Men don't pay. Usually men don't pay for the service, and they really make their money off of women. So yes, that is it. And this is the journal that I'm using currently. When things change inside you, things change around you. This is the journal that I'm using for the next couple of months. It has blank pages, and this is 8.5 by 11. And this is what it looks like on the outside. And you can get it on Amazon, along with, have like 20 of these journals with different affirmations on the cover. So check them out. And if you would like to get started dating again, keyword dating again, email me at the hypergamishjourney@gmail.com. And if you haven't dated ever, get started, email me for the dating guide. It's free. It's free. It's a series of about 20 activities for you to do to get started dating and to love on yourself as well. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.